From above a bridge, Perfidia watches an immigrant detention center. Afterward she meets with her fellow members of the revolutionary group the French 75 to make a plan to rescue the detained immigrants. In the evening, the rebels carefully sneak around to capture the guard at the gate. Then they break in through a hole they cut in the fence and wake up the soldiers to hold them hostage. While the group searches for the immigrants, Perfidia makes her way to the main office and holds Captain Stephen at gunpoint. She tells him about the ideals her group believes in, but Stephen only cares about how hot she is. Noticing this, Perfidia decides to humiliate him by forcing him to get wood in his pants and walk without hiding it. At the gate, the rebel truck arrives and all the immigrants are rescued. Pat is told on the radio that they're ready, so he lights up a bunch of fireworks in the area that act as a distraction so they can escape. All the soldiers are locked up behind the gate and Stephen tells Perfidia that he'll see her soon. Before leaving, Pat throws a smoke grenade at the soldiers, calling them out for supporting a fascist regime and demanding a revolution. The rebels then leave in their car and Pat and Perfidia end up kissing. They celebrate their victory by shooting their guns in the air. Since that night, Perfidia and Pat have been in a relationship. Pat makes explosives and Perfidia calls any politician who votes for laws that go against human rights. The rebels begin to blow up government offices, banks, and even the power grid, which leaves the city in darkness. As days pass, Stephen tries to track the attacks and watches the rebels act from afar. That way he can stare at Perfidia's body and get naughty with his own hand. One day, Stephen notices that Pat and Perfidia are dating and he gets terribly jealous. Sometime later Perfidia and another rebel manage to get inside a courthouse and they go to the bathroom to hide bombs in the ceiling. Unfortunately Perfidia is caught red-handed by Stephen, who offers her a deal. He'll let her keep on blowing things up if she meets him at a specific address later. In the evening, the duo meets in a motel and Perfidia gets naughty with Stephen to buy her safety. A few months later, Perfidia continues to do rebel activities as if she didn't have a huge pregnant belly. Her parents and Pat worry about the safety of the child. When the baby is finally born, Perfidia suffers from postpartum depression and doesn't spend much time with the baby. Pat begs her to settle down with him and the child, but Perfidia wants to keep on fighting for the cause and abandons them. When Pat goes to the supermarket to get some things for the baby, he's approached by Stephen, who asks him some questions about his daughter. Pat answers since he thinks it's just a friendly conversation, but Stephen creeps him out when he says that he loves black women. One morning, the rebels burst into a bank to rob it. A guard tries to fight back and Perfidia shoots him down. When the alarm goes off, the rebels have no choice but to escape in their cars. A chase ensues through the city and the rebel cars keep pushing other vehicles out of the way to avoid getting stuck in traffic. Soon both cars crash and the rebels are forced to keep running on foot. Unfortunately, the police quickly corner Perfidia and arrest her. Later she's visited by Stephen, who reveals that he can free her if she shares the location of the most important members of the French 75. After hearing about Perfidia's arrest, Pat gets ready to go into hiding. Fellow rebel Howard gives a device he's created that reacts to other people with the same device. Pat can use it to find people he can trust. Howard also teaches Pat a very complicated code they can use for secret conversations and gets him fake paperwork so he and his daughter can have new identities.